That thing of being friends with your ex, I don't know. I don't know. And I still don't know about being friends with them, but I do know that it's entirely possible to be.
Wait, right now. There are aspects of a person where it's just like, even though you know you're not in a place where you want to date anyone, and sometimes it's just fun and games, but you know those fun and games relationships that feel like hard work because the person is such a mess. Or maybe you are also in turn, your demons or your messiness starts coming out as well, and then it's just like, what are we even doing? This was supposed to be I call you, you call me, we have fun, whatever, but now it's tricky.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting that you've gotten to that point where even like just meeting people, you're just like, nope, cutting, it's not working out for me, the bin, you know what I mean? Although you're not even looking for a relationship or open to a relationship yet.
No, it's true. I think that's why these sort of things, I really think they do start with your mind and what's happening in there. And for everybody, that's different. You know, some people use prayer to be able to be centered in that space where they start to see, you know, what is what isn't, or to be more sensitive to that voice. But I guess maybe it's just also somewhat being intentional about what it is that you want and what you're looking for. What I can say is that before, it's not like I was extremely intentional. I think that I had the general overview, but I was like, but we can also see, I mean.
But you would, exactly, you can allow things to slip. Like, okay, I can entertain this. Because in your head, you feel like you have the power to control how things go, but you also forget that you're dealing with another individual here. You're not going to be the one calling the shots, and then this person also comes with their, and then it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, and then it doesn't become fun and games anymore.
Yeah, and that's actually like the reality about it, the control that she was speaking about. That's exactly it. I mean, for me, I also realized I'm someone who, because I didn't have as much control, I think, growing up. All of these things, they always tend to somehow mirror back to your childhood.
Of course they go to your childhood. Your childhood is always the first step of each and every problem that you might face in your adulthood, especially when it comes to relationships. Yep.
It's the key. Yeah. And literally, I realized, okay, my childhood was a bit like, you know, kind of chaotic-ish, where even in the appearance of stability, as far as, you know, emotionally and mentally, it was actually very chaotic. Moving around, being here, being there, being here, being there. So as a result, in my adulthood, it's this thing of wanting to control everything so that I don't end up feeling the way that I did when I was a kid. But as you said, you can't control another person. You can't control when they come, how they come, and what they come with, in a way. You kind of just have to hope that they're going to be honest about where they're at in their life and what they want and what they're doing. Because for me, a really important aspect now, this thing of potential, guys, out the window. I'm done with it. I don't have time. Oh, you have potential to do ABCD. Let me just help you.
I've heard that.
No, you didn't need to help me with my potential.
I've heard that a lot.
I'll be out here trying to build you with your potential. You have it, great, but you need to be the one to spearhead it. Because if I spearhead it, then I'll lose myself.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And I've seen and heard a lot of this thing about, you know, don't fall in love with potential, and I hear what you're saying, because I feel like if you see someone and you feel like, oh my God, like this person is capable of doing XYZ, or we as a unit, we are capable of doing XYZ, and this is something that only you can see, and you're trying to drive it, and you're trying to, you know, project it onto the person, and you have this idea of how, you know, the life could be. If they don't have the vision, if they don't see it, they don't want it, they don't have that, it's not going to work. No, it's out. So definitely, especially with the part that you said that like you are also you are potential as well, but you're working on your own. You know, you don't need someone to come and show you how great you are, what you need to do. So why should you feel like now it's like build a bear, build a house, build a man, whatever it is, you know? Yeah, but just to go back to the whole issue of control and you talking about how the control links back to like your childhood, and it's all trauma, hey, Jerry? It's all trauma, because you mentioned like a key word of saying, I don't want to feel like I felt like. And that's the part that comes in where if you've experienced something so traumatic, but you've never dealt with it, the moment you see signs that resemble that, it's like you've become sick. Your body becomes physically sick. It's like that fight or flight. It's literally your body's in distress. And because you know what that looks like, you know how that feels like, you know how traumatic that is, whenever you see signs of things that could potentially resemble that, you really want to try and control the situations that it doesn't get to that point where you feel the way that you felt. And that's just because it's like, it's trauma that you really haven't dealt with. And just the thought of it just, yeah. So you want to feel like, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I'm in control I can foresee the future, I can foresee when something's going to happen, so I want to be ahead of it, but it's impossible.
That's the truth of it, really. It's impossible. And the only thing that you can do, as you said, is to deal with it and to be aware of those
deal
triggers,
with it,
you know. Be aware that yes,
yeah,
these are issues that
what triggers
I have.
you.
It's like going back to the darkest corners of your mind, the things that you wanted to get rid of, the things that you wanted to forget and act like they didn't happen. You have to go back and kind of revisit them.
They didn't,
and kind of just clean them out.
Scary.
You know? And I mean, it's absolutely scary, but I think it's all the better for it, you know, because I remember when I was in, I think it was first year, right? There was a drama class that I was in. I'll never forget that drama class. It
University
was
first
a drama class, and it was for movement. In that particular like drama course, it was movement that particular day, right? And we had it with.
I remember movement because when I was in high school,
okay.
I did drama too. It was weird. I'm saying when I was in high school, I did drama as well, and there were so many weird things we did there. But yeah, the movement.
Yeah. So we were in this movement class, right? And I'll never forget it. It was with Koleka Putuma. She's amazing. But yes, so we had this class and she was basically saying, okay, now that we're doing all of this movement, I want you to think about what is your oath. You know, what is your oath to yourself, to your life? Like, what is it that you want to be? So you have to finish the sentence by saying, my oath is, I want to be X, right? It has to be whatever word that you want for that to be. And
whatever you want to be.
I didn't, at that time, I hadn't started to, you know, do the unlearning process of dealing with my demons and, you know, therapy and all of that. I hadn't even started that yet. But I remember that without fail, the word that popped into my head was to be weightless. I wanted to be weightless. I wanted to be weightless.
You want to,
and it's only after the therapy, you know, after all of this stuff, because now we're speaking about, you know, the things that happen in your childhood that are unresolved and they sit at the back of your mind, and if you don't deal with them, they keep on coming back until you've dealt with it.
They carry you.
Yes,
and that's a lot of weight.
You see, that's exactly it. It was weight, and basically, I already subconsciously knew that there was a lot of baggage I was carrying. So from my oath to be like, I want to be weightless, and I think that itself was a good omen, because I just, as life then progressed, I kept doing whatever I needed to do to get into a space where I felt, you know, like I wasn't carrying baggage. Like even with this relationship that just ended, it's the first one that ended in peace, without drama, without blocking, without, you're this person, I can't ever have them in my life, I can never,
without,
this is done.
And you have to speak ill of them,
like,
trash, this, yeah, it
good
ended
to be
well.
like, wow. And that's why I say that now I feel like I'm in a really good space, because I feel like I'm fulfilling that oath. And as a result, I'm a lot happier and I feel more optimistic about things. I feel like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, now I'm getting the hang of this. Like, yes, that like
You
life
got
is moving in
this.
that direction. Because you actually don't realize, especially when things end on a bad note with an ex or something, that in a way it's kind of baggage. Because whenever you think back to that person, if you still
Yeah, you carry that everywhere you go, and when you think about that person, you don't have, if it wasn't a great breakup, you don't have positive thoughts about it. It's just like, I don't want to open this door. It just,
exactly,
nah,
and
don't talk about it, keep it moving. But and that is baggage. You're just storing it there by not even wanting to
right,
talk about
and you're
it.
just adding like another room. You're adding another like dark room where you're throwing stuff in it, and and I mean, obviously, I mean, if you guys remember our conversations, our past videos where I've said before that thing of being friends with your ex, I don't know, I don't know. And I still don't know about being friends with them, but I do know that it's entirely possible to be
Wait, right
at
now,
peace with them. Like, you understand the situation, there's still love for each
yes,
other, but you know it's just not working out, and that's okay. And you move regardless, and I feel like it's been such a gift throughout this entire experience, because child, there was also a whole situationship that I'd had before my ex, right? And that dude just would not quit. He would not quit. He would not quit. He would not quit. He was still there in the DM. He was still there. Hey, how are you? Calling. Hey, all this stuff. And
they wouldn't
he
let go.
before would not take no for an answer. But for some reason, I guess now it took, me being in this space and me being a bit more assertive and saying that, like, look, you need to stop doing this. You're wasting my time. You're wasting your time. And I
It's
don't
not
think that
happening.
it's conducive. And I was so shocked, because I expected him to revert to the old ways that he's always been doing. Because it's been 2 years
To
since we
continue
spoke.
pushing.
But still,
Yeah.
it was on me. So when I told him that, I remember I knew, it was like, no, okay, I still love you, but I respect what you're saying. And it's cool and it's done. And I was like, well, wasn't that growth?
Wow, growth.
I mean,
Right, growth.
It's actually like, it's really good. And I think I'm in a really good space, and I feel, as the oath is, like, just weightless and feeling like, great, this is the way I want to move in life. Peace with everybody, with everything. Let there not be any negative energy, because I know some friends who, when they think back to a certain ex, they're still like, that trash Negro, that trash. But in a way, you're carrying something in a way when you do that.
You're carrying, yeah. It's not good for yourself, really. Yes, that person may be like trash and the trashiest of the trash, but let it be trash from far away from your heart and your shoulders and your inner peace.
Like just sometimes it's better to just let that shit go, let it go. Like, let it go, guys.
Let go.
Release. We already have so much issues on this life. We're in a parallelogram. We're going through it.
A pandemic.
We're going through it. Like, in this pandemic, like,
it's a lot.
You don't need the extra sagas and dramas. Like, that energy can go elsewhere. It can be poured into you, into your family, into your friends, into your career. It can go, man. It can move. So let's just let it move. But man, yeah. So that's me, though. What's been going on with you?
But just to ask, what is if you don't mind talking about it, what is the we are not together, or like, so you said that after you guys broke up, you were talking and whatever, but then you realized that, okay, this communication too much thing is bringing a bit of, some form of, not dependency per se, but you feel like you need to kind of let go of the communication. So what does that look like now?
Now we don't speak.
Is there no...
I mean, we went to speaking every day to...
You went from speaking every day?
You know, after the relationship ended, we were still doing, in a way, what we did during our relationship, which was speaking every day. So
when you were
in
dating,
the evening, we'd speak. And when our relationship ended, we were still doing the same thing in a way, like still being a support to each other, speaking every morning, every day. So when we decided to stop, then we literally stopped. Like, I didn't call him.
When last have you spoken to him now?
Okay. I spoke to him now, like... I spoke...
No, is that
like,
okay for me?
Now, when I say, like, speak to him, I'm talking more so about, like, text. So, essentially, what happened was...
No calls.
Yeah, he broke the silence, I mean. He texted, but it was basically just to say that, you know, I guess just to express where it's at, but also just as a way to show... I guess to wish me well for the future in a way, because what he was essentially saying was, you know, look, whoever it is that comes after him will be a really, you know, lucky person, because they will get to experience, you know, all of these traits that I have. And that, you know, he really does appreciate or is thankful for the time that we had together, which I feel like was extremely... I don't think it was easy for him, because he's not someone who likes being soppy, and he's not someone who enjoys, you know, being emotional and all of that stuff. So that was a big thing for him to do. And I think it was also nice for me to hear. I think in a way, it's not like I was waiting for it, but I think in a way, when it came, actually, it was like, yeah.
But it came at the right time.
It was a nice kind of like send off of like, you know, the person who comes after you will get these traits, and that's really cool. And I was obviously able to express the same thing back to him and be like, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you yourself, whoever it is that comes after me, like, there'll be one really blessed person. So it was nice to just have that, and that was maybe like 2 days ago or so, roughly. Yeah. And then you just...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Parted
ways.
Now mind shifts are happening. Potential immigrations are happening. I mean, you know, the world is an oyster.
What you talking about yourself? I'm sorry, I didn't get that about the something is happening, potential immigrations are happening.
Yeah,
you mean like for yourself?
Mean, who knows? You know? We'll see how far.
Right.
Let's see.
Yeah. There's a lot can happen.
All of this is just to say that this meditation really unlocked something for me. It works for me. And it's just moving me in a really great direction, where the last things I think that need to be dealt with, unplugged, necessary issues that maybe I kind of put on the back burner for whenever later would be, are made later now. And I just kept moving in that direction. So it's been really good, even with work as well. Shift.
Definitely.
Where I'm like, okay, no, actually, if I don't like what I'm doing, or I don't like where I'm at, we're going to literally change it, and then actually just doing it.
Then leave. Let's go. Right. Instead of sulking, but literally not being proactive whatsoever about your situation. Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah. So
that's
what's
the
been
worst.
happening?
And I think that can also be. Oh, sorry. No, I was going to say that could also be detrimental to people around you, because if you're constantly going to be bugging them about, oh, I hate this, like venting about the same thing the whole year, it's like, babes, okay, then what's your plan? You know what I mean?